evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Irish Guy. I'm Jesse. It's good to have you here. Now, today is October 29th, and I'm going to be reading from the 24 Hours a Day book, our NA How It Works book, and why. I found one of those today, and I also found A Man's Way Through the 12 Steps. Now, that means a woman, too, so just hang with us, and let's get through this. And I'm going to read from a paragraph from each of those, and I just can't wait. The meditation today is: our true measure of success in life is the measure of spiritual progress that we have revealed in our lives. Others should be able to see a demonstration of God's will in our lives. The measure of His will that those around us have been worked out in our daily living is the measure of our true success. We can do our best to do a demonstration of each day of the power of God in human lives, an example of the working out of the grace of God in the hearts of men and women. So the prayer for today is: I pray that I may so live that others will see in me something of the working out of the will of God. Amen. Yeah. So I pray that my life will be a demonstration of what the grace of God can do. So today I pray that I may live so that others will see in me something of the working out of the will of God. And I pray that my life may be a demonstration of what the grace of God can do. I had a really good weekend. Before I share this, yesterday I volunteered with a local nonprofit to help out doing a trunk or treat thing on a property called Magnus Veterans Foundation. Such a wonderful property and wonderful people to be involved with. And that was with Hoodlum and my man Chris. And then after that, I went up to the dealership, and they had a chili cook-off, and that was a lot of fun. And our hog president won third place, and there was a lot of fun. And I see people I like. A couple people missing yesterday I didn't get to see. Then I had my daughter's birthday party last night for 3 or 4 hours, and that was a lot of fun too. But this morning I spent some time with my wife, and we went to Half Price Books, and I found some real gems in the clearance section too. So as we're in step 5, despite our desire to recover, we may find that we're feeling frightened at this point. This fear is only natural. After all, we're about to confront the exact nature of our wrongs, candidly admitting our secrets to God, to ourselves, and to another human being. You see, step 5 is we admit it to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. And we've been talking about that. And tomorrow we'll do a live stream and do some deep dives on some of the books I got, and we'll get into some truth. So if we allow our feelings of shame or our fears of change and rejection to stop our progress, our problems will only be compounded. If we stop moving forward in our recovery, if we cease to making everything possible effort to recover, we will have given in to the disease of addiction. So we must overcome our fear and work the 5th step if we are to make any significant changes in the way we live. We gather our courage and we go on. We may call our sponsor for reassurance, because usually remember that we don't have to face our feelings alone makes all the difference in easing these fears. So working this step, the 5th step, with the support of your sponsor and a loving God is a way of putting into practice our decision to allow Him to take care of our will and our lives, right? Yeah. That decision, like most decisions we make, must be followed with action, execution. Amen? Following our 3rd step decision with the action of the 4th and the 5th will lead to a closer relationship to a higher power. Amen? So, a man's way through the 12 steps. All right. So, I wanted to share this with you. So, emotional sobriety. So, eventually you will realize that your recovery is limited unless it includes emotional sobriety. You are emotionally sober when you are aware of how you feel, able to express your feelings, able to be responsible for those feelings, and able to respond and not overreact to those feelings and let them go. I have a hard time with that. I do. So I've spoken to many men who long into recovery, still feel hopeless about ever being able to truly feel good about themselves and their lives. They smile and they tell everything is great. They can quote the steps and the literature, and they know how to sound good. Yet they have not developed emotional sobriety yet. They are still little boys in men's bodies. So as the book, As Bill Sees It, Bill Wilson talked about emotional sobriety as this. I'll end with this. If we examine every disturbance we have, great or small, we will find at the root of it some unhealthy dependency and its consequent unhealthy demand. So let us, with God's help, continually surrender those hobbling liabilities. Then we can be set free to live in love, and we may be able to do the 12th step ourselves, as well as others, into emotional sobriety. Rich, a former lawyer with 7 years of sobriety, said this: "The change for me today is that I can more accurately recognize my feelings. In the past, fear, grief, or pain was usually masked by a veneer of anger, but today I can do more and identify the actual emotion or feeling that is in play. So, the process of discovering our feelings often proceeds like this. First, we become aware of our feelings. Next, we have to learn how to talk about our feelings. Then, a more intellectual process. For me, we meant talking about these feelings that are hurt and afraid and coming across angry while laughing. So, while I couldn't correctly identify a given feeling, my behavior didn't match. So, we'll end with that, you guys. I just want to thank you guys for joining in and for supporting the channel. This week, we hope to do some live streams and get in and get out with some hope, right? So God bless you. Thanks for listening. Oh, and one more thing. I got this wonderful gift in the mail from Jason, and I want to thank you, Jason, for giving me this pin. I'll be able to wear it on my vest and carry it everywhere I go. Thanks for the luck. Love ya.